Okay, what we have here is 3 different feeders. One on the bottom is a, I don't know, 30-something gallon trash can. This one here on top, this is a little 2-gallon bucket. And this is an old type feeder, open face. Pour the food in here, it comes out into this, and your chicks or chickens eat. I've always had a problem with these right here. Anybody that's had chicks knows what I'm talking about. You put the food in here, it comes out. You come out half a day later, and all of this has been scratched out on the ground. So you waste a lot. So what I've done, these have not been used in years. I had to dig this out just for demonstration. This is what I've been using for my chicks that have just been released into the our general population. And this is, like I said, a little 2-gallon bucket. And what I use is PVC 90s. And these are, if I remember right, like 1 or 1 1/4 inch, just enough for them to get their little heads in there. See if we can get in there where you can see it. And get them something to eat. Same with this trash can here. Chicken sticks their head in there, and the food is in the bottom. What is nice about these is they're easily accessible for the chickens. They stay clean, and with something the size of the trash can, you can put easily 2 50-pound bags of feed in there. It's in, it's staying dry, it's clean. You got plenty of food for the chickens. Well, this one here, the chicks, I still got grower feed in there for them. The trouble is, it's too small for them now. They're between size. So what I need to do is to make another feeder. So I thought I'd take this opportunity to show you how it's done. Okay, here's everything we're gonna need to get started on our feeder. The most important things being the 5-gallon bucket, and for my particular size chickens, I need 2-inch PVC 90-degree fittings. You'll need a tape measure, something to mark the bucket with, either a hole saw or a scroll saw to cut the holes out, and we're going to need a little bit of adhesive to hold these so they don't move around once we're finished. You notice it's a Lowe's bucket, and I don't mind giving a shout out to Lowe's. Being a veteran, they give me 10% off my purchases without any problem, unlike some of the other orange home stores. So I don't mind giving them a little bit of thanks and business. So let's get started on cutting this out. Okay, the first thing we want to do is put our marks where we want to cut on these. If you're good at doing it by eyeballing it, that's fine, because this isn't exact, but you do need to take it about, this would be the part that goes inside your feeder that will be sitting like this. The chicken's head will be coming in here, the bottom part of the feeder. You want to come up about, you want to basically cut it in half, and then come up to the bend like that. You're going to be cutting that off. Then you're going to want to give a little bit of recess for the chicken's neck. This is not necessary on the larger one because it's a lot more room for them to get in, but this is just a little on the tight side. So what I do is I just come up on this, kind of draw me a little cut out here, and we're going to remove that. The chicken will be eating like this. It gives them a little bit more room to get inside. Okay, now we've got all of these cut. This is my bottom, this is the top. Chicken eats here, food's down in here. Now we need to cut holes in our bucket. Now I should state here, you might want to do this opposite order in what I'm telling you. It's smarter to use the full circle of this to draw the circle on your bucket before you cut them. So, little learning experience. I'm using 5 of these, so I just need to know. I don't think the chickens are going to mind if it's exact or not, but I just try to be close. So my bucket is 34 inches around where I'm going to be placing these. So 34 divided by 5 ends up being like a little over 6 3/4. So every 6 3/4, I'm going to put a mark on here knowing that's going to be the center of where I'm cutting my hole. The other thing I need to know is how far up these need to come. So I know that by measuring from here up to where it cuts, turns, is about 1 1/4 inches. So I need to come up 1 1/4 inches here, plus there's a little offset on the bucket, about 1/4 inch. So I'm gonna come up 1.5 inches. And from 1.5 inches up, center, I'm going to draw my circle and do that all the way around the bucket and then cut the holes out. Okay, got the first one cut, and what I want to suggest is that you cut one. It's what it looks like installed, but cut small and work your way up to the size where this will. You got to squeeze to get it in the hole and it fits tightly. It makes a big difference whether these stay in or not. If you get it too loose, you would have to glue it for it to stay in, or else it's just going to wobble around. If you get them really tight, like I've got this one here, you don't even have to use any glue or anything to help it stay in. So work on the small side and then cut a little bit more to make this fit in correctly, and it'll just, when you're all said and done, it'll be a much better feeder. It'll seal well, you won't have water in it, and again, it's the whole reason you're making this thing, to make your life a little bit easier. And after you get it all drilled out, what you need to do is clean all this mess out of the inside. Just wash it out. If you see some of my other videos, you might recognize this is the first well I put down on video. Now ready to install our pipes. Okay, like I said, ready to install all these. I've got all mine in, except the last one, and I'll show you how I put them in. Remember, the tighter the hole, the better. No leak, and it won't move around. Here's your bottom, here's your feeder end. If you've got this measurement here correct, it should just rest on the bottom of the bucket. So just put it in like so, bottom of the bucket, and work to slide it through. There you go. If any of these are loose or have gaps in them, what you may want to do, so your feed doesn't get wet if you're leaving this out to the elements. If you're not leaving this out to the elements, don't worry about it unless it's really wobbly. Get you a little silicone or something like that and fill in the hole. Or if they're just moving a little bit and you're uncomfortable with that, you're afraid they may get out of position or give your chickens a problem, just get a little plastic cement or something that adheres to the plastic, glue it, put a little spot on it. Mine are tight enough I'm not going to have to do anything. So all I need to do is take my lid, my bucket, put some feed in it. But before I do that, I'm going to add a bottom to this, just a riser, a piece of wood that'll get it up off the ground a little bit. They are able to get into here, but they've got to squat, and these chickens are getting big enough it's a little bit uncomfortable for them. So I'm going to give them another 2 or 3 inches up in the air. That'll make things a little bit easier for them. Okay, here's the finished product. And all it is 2 scrap 4x4s on the bottom to help me get a riser with that, and 4 screws. And for full disclosure, I went ahead and put a small bead of silicone around these because I got in a dark area looking out towards the light and I can see fine gaps. So you go ahead and do that. On the safe side, it'll seal it and I won't have to worry about any rainwater getting in. Like I said, if this is going to be undercover, you won't have to worry about anything. So we're going to get it filled up and see how the little ones like it. Everybody's cleaning up my mess. And the older ones aren't letting the little ones get up to it yet. But this will do the trick, because the little ones still like that small feeder, and they've worked to get down in it. This one here will solve that problem, and I can still give them the grower feed while my bigger ones get the laying mash. Hope this helps. Give somebody some ideas to get something to make things for you a little bit easier.